Hello to everyone. Today's topic is about agrarian reform policies pursued by presidents from Ferdinand Marcos up until the present administration, President Rodrigo Duterte.
President Ferdinand E. Marcos, 1965 to 1986. Proclamation number 1081 on September 21, 1972 assured the period of the new society. 5 days after the proclamation of martial law, the entire country was proclaimed a land reform area, and simultaneously the Agrarian Reform Program was decreed. President Marcos enacted the following laws: Republic Act No. 6389, Code of Agrarian Reform, and Republic Act No. 6390 of 1971. Created the Department of Agrarian Reform in the Agrarian Reform Special Account Fund. It strengthened the position of farmers and expanded the scope of agrarian reform. Presidential Decree No. 2, September 26, 1972, declared the country under the Land Reform Program. It enjoined all agency and office of the government to extend full cooperation and assistance to the DAR. It also activated the Agrarian Reform Coordinating Council. Presidential Decree No. 27, October 21, 1972, restricted land reform scope to tentative rice and corn lands and set the retention limits at 7 hectares. President Corazon C. Aquino, 1986 to 1992. The Constitution ratified by the Filipino people during the administration of President Corazon C. Aquino provides under Section 21 under Article 2 that the state shall promote comprehensive rural development and agrarian reform.
On June 10, 1988, former President Corazon C. Aquino signed into law Republic Act No. 6657, or otherwise known as a Comprehensive Agrarian Reform Law. The law became effective on June 15, 1988. Subsequently, 4 presidential assumptions were released in July 1987 after 48 nationwide consultation before the actual law was enacted. President Corazon C. Aquino enacted the following laws: Executive Order No. 228, July 16, 1987, declared full ownership to qualified farmer beneficiaries covered by BEED1. It also determined the value remaining unvalued rice and corn lands subject of BEED1 and provided for the manner of payment by the PBS and mode of compensation to landowners.
Executive Order No. 229, July 22, 1987, provided mechanism for the implementation of the Comprehensive Agrarian Reform Program, or CARP. Proclamation No. 131, July 22, 1987, instituted the CARP as a major program of the government. It provided for a special fund known as the Agrarian Reform Fund, ARF, with an initial amount of 50 billion to cover the estimated cost of the program from 1987 to 1992.
Executive Number 129A, July 26, 1987, streamlined and expanded the power and operation of the DAR. Republic Act No. 6657, June 10, 1988, Comprehensive Agrarian Reform Law, an act which became effective June 15, 1988, and instituted a comprehensive agrarian reform program to promote social justice and industrialization, providing the mechanism for its implementation and for other purposes. This law is still the one being implemented at present. Executive Order No. 405, June 14, 1990, vested in the Land Bank of the Philippines the responsibility to determine land valuation and compensation for all lands covered by CARP, or CARP. Executive Order Number 407, June 14, 1990. Accelerated the acquisition and distribution of agricultural lands, pasture lands, fish ponds, agroforestry lands, and other lands of the public domain suitable for agriculture. President Fidel V. Ramos, 1992-1998. When President Fidel V. Ramos formally took over in 1992, his administration came face to face with publics who have lost confidence in the Agrarian Reform Program. His administration committed to the vision, fairer, faster, and more meaningful implementation of the Agrarian Reform Program.
President Fidel V. Ramos enacted the following laws. Republic Act No. 7881 in 1995 amended certain provision of Republic Act 6657 and exempted fish pond and prawns from the coverage of CARP. Republic Act No. 7905 in 1995 strengthened the implementation of the CARP. Executive Order No. 363 in 1997 limits the type of lands that may be converted by setting conditions, under which limits the type of lands that may be converted by setting conditions under which specific categories of agricultural lands are either absolutely non-negotiable for conversion or highly restricted for conversion. Republic Act No. 8435 in 1997, Agriculture and Fisheries Modernization Act, or AFMA, plugged the legal loopholes in land use conversion. Republic Act No. 8532 in 1998, Agrarian Reform Fund Bill, provided an additional 50 billion for CARP and extended its implementation for another 10 years. President Joseph E. Estrada from 1998 to 2000. Era para sa mahirap. This was the battle cry that endured President Joseph Estrada and made him very popular during the 1998 presidential election. President Joseph E. Estrada initiated the enactment of the following law. Executive Order No. 151, September 1999, Farmers Trust Fund allowed the voluntary consolidation of small farm operation into medium and large-scale integrated enterprise that can access long-term capital.
During his administration, President Estrada launched the Makabalikat para sa Kaunlarang Agraryo or Magsasaka. The DER forged into joint ventures with private investors into agrarian sectors to make FBs competitive. However, the Estrada administration was short-lived. The masses who put him into office demanded for his ousters. President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, 2006-2010. The Agrarian Reform Program under the Arroyo administration is anchored on the vision to make the countryside economically viable, the Filipino family by building partnership and promoting social equity and new economic opportunities towards lasting peace and sustainable rural development. Terror improvement, DER will remain vigorous in implementing land acquisition and distribution component of CARP. The DER will improve land tenure systems through land distribution and household. Provision of support service or CARP not only involves the distribution of lands but also included the package of support services, which include credit assistance, extension service, irrigation facilities, road and bridge, marketing facilities, and training and technical support programs.
Projects. DAR will transform the agrarian reform communities, an area-focused and integrated delivery of support services into rural economic zones that will help in the creation of job opportunities in the countryside. Kalahi R-Zone. The Kalahi Agrarian Reform Zones were also launched. These zones consist of one or more municipalities with concentration of ARC population to achieve greater agro-productivity. Agrarian Justice. To help clear the backlog of agrarian cases, DAR, DAR will hire more paralegal officers to support undermanned adjudicatory boards and introduce quota system to compel adjudicators to work faster on agrarian reform cases. DAR will respect the rights of both farmers and landowners. President Benigno Aquino III vowed during his 2012 State of the Nation address that he would complete before the end of his term the Comprehensive Agrarian Reform Program, or the CARP, the centerpiece program of the administration of his mother, President Corazon Aquino.
The younger Aquino distributed their family-owned hacienda Luisita in Tarlac. Apart from said farm lot, he also promised to complete the distribution of privately owned lands to productive agricultural estates in the country that have escaped in the coverage of the program. Under his administration, the Agrarian Reform Community Connectivity and Economic Support Services project was created to contribute to overall goal of rural poverty reduction, especially in agrarian reform areas. Agrarian Production Credit Program provided credit support for crop production to newly organized and existing agrarian reform beneficiaries organizations and farmers organizations not qualified to avail themselves of loans under the regular credit windows of banks. The Legal Case Monitoring System, a web-based legal system for recording and monitoring various kinds of agrarian cases at the provincial, regional, and central offices of DAR to ensure faster resolution and close monitoring of agrarian-related cases, was also launched. Aside from these initiatives, Aquino also enacted Executive Order No. 26, Series of 2011 to mandate the Department of Agriculture, Department of Environment and Natural Resources, Department of Agrarian Reform Convergence Initiative to develop a national greening program in cooperation with other government agencies.
President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, 2016 to present. Under his leadership, the President wants to pursue an aggressive land reform program that would help alleviate the life of poor Filipino farmers by prioritizing the provision of support services alongside land distribution. The President directed to DAR to launch the second phase of agrarian reform where landless farmers would be awarded with undistributed lands under the Comprehensive Agrarian Reform Program, or CARP. Duterte plans to replace almost all public lands, including military reserves, under agrarian reform. The President also placed 400 hectares of agricultural lands in Boracay under CARP. Under his administration, the DAR created an anti-corruption task force to investigate and handle reports on alleged anomalous activities by officials and employees of the department. The department also pursues an Upland Zero backlog in the resolution of cases in relation to agrarian justice, delivery of the agrarian reform program to fast-track the implementation of CARP.
Key policy recommendations. 1. Improve agricultural policy performance to enhance the sector's long-term productivity growth. Refocus the policy package to improve food security. Refocus agrarian land policies from land distribution to securing property rights through land governance reforms. Focus budgetary support on long-term structural reform. Reorient agricultural knowledge systems. 2. Reorient the focus of agricultural education and extension services to improve farm management skills. Adopt a holistic approach to risk management with a policy focus on catastrophic risks. Assist insurance and cash transfer schemes that can encourage adaptive decisions. 3. Improve agricultural sector's capacity to adapt to climate change. Make climate adaptation policy objectives consistent across programs and institutions. Develop clear guidance on climate adaptation tagging. Make sure that new infrastructure projects are climate-proof. Provide reliable climate information to farmers. Encourage more efficient use of water. 4. Improve agricultural institutions and governance systems. Strengthen institutional coordination between the DA and other relevant departments and institutions that implement programs supporting agriculture. Strengthen transparency and accountability of publicly funded programs. Accelerate efforts to build a solid, policy-relevant statistical system. Embed monitoring and evaluation mechanisms into the policy process.
Introducing new technologies. The introduction of new technologies can radically change land use. Farmers need little persuading to adopt technologies that promise immediate benefits such as this.